In this video, the Bitcoin price broke out from this broadening falling wedge, but take a look at this, guys. We saw a massive red candle as right now, Russia and Ukraine are now entering into a war. But the question is this going to affect the crypto market? Stay tuned to know more. Hi guys, and welcome back to another Gabb's cryptocurrency video where we trade by data and not by hype. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out daily technical analysis like this. So in this video, we are going to talk about two things: technical analysis and news surrounding the Russian and Ukraine conflict. But before that, let's give you a quick update with the Bitcoin price action. Let's give you a quick recap of our previous analysis. So diba kahapon, what we were monitoring is actually this broadening falling wedge. And nagkaroon tayo ng breakout. Unfortunately, wala tayong nakitang buy volume, so that could actually lead to a fake out. But nonetheless, we almost met our first target, which is around the 39.3k. Pero ang nangyari is umabot lang until 39.2k. So somehow, at least we are still able to play within those area. But look at this, guys. After that movement, we saw massive red candles, and they are more likely caused by this Russia-Ukraine conflict na nangyari ngayon, which is yun ngayon, Russia-Ukraine full-scale invasion ngayon. But the question which everyone is asking, will the crypto market fall to the downside? Dire-diretso na ba? Masisira na ba yung market structure dahil may ongoing war? Well, that is what we are going to answer in today's video. The way on how we are going to understand if this is going to affect the whole crypto market or the market structure itself is we are going to look at our macro scale chart, which is the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. So what we are going to do in this video is we are going to open our logarithmic growth curve, which is our market structure for the past 12 years. And then what we are going to do is we are going to input multiple historical global events. And let's see kung ano ba nangyari sa Bitcoin price noon and what happened ever since. So as you can see, throughout the history, naglagay ako dito ng mga major movements na kung ano nangyari noong time na yon. And at the same time, ano ba nangyari kay Bitcoin price during that period. So let's start at the earliest period. So as you can see, one of the earliest conflict na nakita natin was the Syrian-ISIS war. And we all know yung Syrian-ISIS war is actually a very massive conflict which also affected a lot of countries. Dito sa Philippines, of course, nakita niyo naman kung paano niya na-affect yung Marawi City. And, diba, this is a very big deal. Kasi, of course, this has been a very big conflict na which pumasok yung United States as well as Russia. Does it sound familiar? Actually, it does. Kasi, it is actually the same superpowers who are also entering in with the Russian-Ukraine. And in fact, Russia is actually one of the countries who are supporting the Syrian war, the Syrian civil war. So in this case, you can see na Russia has already been involved in a war previously na nga prior to this Russia-Ukraine war. It's just that super tagal na siya. That is around 2011. And look at that. Ano ba nangyari nun during the Bitcoin price? During that period, did it affect massively? Well, in reality, it doesn't. Kasi if you're going to look at the weekly time frame, it did not really affect the market structure of the Bitcoin price action. So in this case, did it affect the crypto market? Only for the short term. But if you're going to look at the market structure, it did not affect the crypto market. Now, let's move on to another conflict and let's go further in time. So now, let's move on to this next conflict, which is yung ating Ebola outbreak. And we all know na Ebola outbreak is actually a very concerning thing kasi of course, countries were shutting down because of that Ebola outbreak. And during that period, ano ba nangyari nun? During that period, Bitcoin was already on a bearish sentiments as we have already met the market cycle top. During that period, habang bumababa yung Bitcoin price, saka lumabas yung balita na Ebola outbreak. Did it affect the market structure? Well, in reality, it did not affect the market structure kasi during that period, we are already on a downtrend kasi we have met the market cycle top. Same goes din dito sa ating next conflict, which is the Yemeni civil war. Similar to the Ebola outbreak, we were already on a downtrend, and then during that period, saka lang pumasok yung conflict. In that case, did it affect the whole crypto market structure? Not really. It's just fueled what is happening within the crypto market. Nagkaroon lang siya na short-term dump. But after that, wala na. Ganun lang. Diba? Parang wala lang talaga yung news dito. Let's move into the latest conflicts ngayon. Ito yung pinakamaganda. Brexit and the COVID lockdown. So para sa mga hindi nakakaalam, Brexit is actually yung time na umalis yung Great Britain sa European Union. And that is actually a big deal kasi it can actually affect the European market kasi of course, the British market is actually a very big market when it comes to the financial market. So in this case, Brexit is a very big deal when it comes to the market. And tingnan nyo ano nangyari during the Brexit noong February 2020. Nagkaroon ba tayo ng massive dump? Did it break the market structure? Well, it did not. Ang nangyari lang is, nagkaroon lang siguro ng dump pero wala na nangyari. So as you can see, news only affect the short term but it does not affect the market structure. Now, ito na siguro yung pinakang malala na nakita natin ngayon, which is COVID-19 lockdown during the March 20 period. Nagkaroon tayo ng massive red candle during that area. But tingnan nyo, zooming out, did it affect the market structure? Let's try to zoom out. Did it affect the market structure? I don't think so. What happened is we were still playing within that similar regression band na sinusundan for the past year, which is the similar area kung nasaan yung Bitcoin price during the previous bear market or very long consolidation. So in this case, this exact period na kung saan nangyari yung COVID-19 lockdown, nakakita tayo ng malaking crash for the very short term. Bumagsak yung Bitcoin price na malala for the very short term. Ang binagsak na Bitcoin, tingnan natin kung gaano kalaki binagsak niya. I think that is roughly around 30%, 35%. Pero did it affect the market structure? Ano nangyari? Bitcoin still went up despite of the COVID-19 pandemic, around 1,126%. So you tell me, did the COVID-19 lockdown, did those FUD affect the market structure? Well, I don't think so. As you can see, it did not affect the market structure. Same goes dito. Nakita din natin yung fall of Afghanistan. Ito yung time na nag-withdraw United States dito sa Kabul in Afghanistan. At the same time, the Taliban has invaded the capital of Afghanistan. And ano ba nangyari noon? During that area, did it break the market structure? It did not break the market structure. Same goes dito, yung Evergrande crash, which is itong period, noong September or roughly October na nga siya. Did it break the market structure? Well, I don't think so. So as you can see, itong mga big news did not actually break the market structure. Well, ngayon, tingnan natin ano ba nangyari dito sa ating Russia conflict ngayon with the Bitcoin price. So let's go back. Tingnan natin guys, ano nangyari. So take a look at this guys. This was the day before or siguro this was the week before the Russia-Ukraine conflict invasion. Tingnan nyo guys, ano nangyari. During that period, ito yung Bitcoin price action. During that time, 38.3K. Ano nangyari after the invasion, after the announcement of invasion? Tingnan natin ano nangyari ngayon. Ano nangyari? Ito lang yung nangyari. Bumagsak lang si Bitcoin na ganyang kaliit. Ganyang kaliit lang binagsak ni Bitcoin dito sa ating macro scale, dito sa ating bigger time frame. Did it affect the market structure? It only affected the short-term price action, but it did not affect the market structure itself. So right now, diba, using our historical data and then in-apply natin siya ng mga news anong nangyari during that period, nakita nyo, global conflicts does not break the crypto market structure. It only affects the short term. Pwede tayong makita ng red day for the very short term, but in reality, in general, it does not affect the long term and the whole crypto market structure itself. So ngayon, kung medyo kinakabahan kayo dito sa ating Russia-Ukraine war, I don't think it's going to affect the very long term. It's only going to affect the very short term. Siguro it will only affect today up until next week. Pero after that, wala na. It's more likely na makakalimutan na natin. Katulad yung nangyari kay Elon Musk. Di ba sabi nila na kaya daw bumagsak yung Bitcoin kasi dahil daw kay Elon Musk? Well, in reality, nakalimutan na ng mga tao na nag-FUD si Elon Musk about Bitcoin as well as the crypto market. Wala na nakaalala ngayon. That is another scenario wherein news were only happening for the very short term but it did not affect the whole market structure for the long term. So despite of the news surrounding the whole global market, if I were you, I would stick sa kung anong meron data tayo rather than na magpakain sa mga FUD na nakita natin across the internet. Of course, they are going to affect the short term. Pwede pa tayo actually bumagsak dyan below 32K or let's say around 33K or roughly 30K. But that is not going to affect the whole crypto market structure. So ayun guys, yun yung aking personal thoughts when it comes to this Russia-Ukraine war, when it comes to the Bitcoin price action. At least narinig na yung side ko. Personal thoughts ko yun. Kayo, nasa inyo na kung ano yung papaniwalaan nyo, pero yun yung aking personal thoughts. It will not affect the market structure kasi basing on the historical data, it did not affect the market structure. And siguro yun muna yung update natin for the time being. Since ang dami ngayon busy dito sa conflict, let's try to dive in with the technicals dito kay Bitcoin price and tingnan natin ano ba nangyari dito sa Bitcoin price. Well, if you're going to look at the Bitcoin price, we are now starting to form a clear resistance line within the RSI sa 4-hour time frame. So as you can see, the moment na we got rejected by this resistance area around the 39.3K, that was actually also the same time na nag-resist tayo dito sa ating RSI resistance. So it could be indicating na we are now starting to form an RSI resistance, and I think the only time na we are going to see a massive move is if we are going to break this RSI resistance, which is right now wala pa tayo dun sa area na yon. So right now, that is what we are going to monitor in the coming hours as well as in the coming days. this RSI resistance in the 4-hour time frame. So before we enter into any big trade, we are going to watch out for this RSI 4-hour resistance within the 4-hour time frame. So that is what I am going to monitor right now with the Bitcoin price. Hindi ako masyadong mag-focus sa Russia-Ukraine conflict. But dito ako mag-focus sa technicals, dito ako mag-focus sa data kung ano meron tayo with the Bitcoin price action. But guys, if you want to long or short Bitcoin, you can actually do this in Bybit. Kasi dito kay Bybit, you can actually trade Bitcoin with the lowest fees possible, similar with BingX. And as of the time being, mga buy orders ko na-execute na nga dito kay Bitcoin as well as kay Ethereum. So as of the time being, nakapag-buy the dip na ako ulit dito kay Bitcoin pati kay Ethereum. So ayun yung update ko sa inyo guys, nag-buy the dip ako kay Bitcoin as well as kay Ethereum. And yan ngayon, may natitira akong remaining orders na lang. And yung remaining orders ko is actually around the $2,000 kay Ethereum, $28,000 kay Bitcoin, as well as the $32,000 kay Bitcoin. So yun yung mga aking remaining buy orders dito kay Bybit when it comes to buying the dip sa Bitcoin spot wallet. So yun muna update natin for the time being. If you find this video useful and informative, please give this video a like. And if you want to see more contents like this, please subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video and bye-bye for now.